I recently came back from a trip to Japan, and 90% of the time I was using this compact powerhouse, the A7CII. I got some incredible shots to share with you all, and I think it's probably the best full-frame travel camera. But do I recommend buying it for someone who's about to travel? Actually no, because there's another camera that might just steal the spotlight. That is about $1,000 cheaper and is definitely not gonna be too far from the A7CII's performance. Stick around and find out what I have in mind. Alright, but first of all, there is no doubt that the A7CII is an excellent camera. I mean, 33 megapixel sensor that just captures awesome high quality photos. It also has the latest processor and the AI unit that brings lots of improvements for its already great autofocus as well as image stabilization systems. Of course, exceptional low light performance, especially because of the sensor and that 7-stop IBIS, and just so much more. But what I really loved about the A7CII is how freaking small and compact this thing is, given that it's a full frame camera. It has, you know, a nice grip. Yes, it's smaller than my A7CII's grip, but it's still kind of ergonomic and feels really good in my not so small hand. And you know, I also don't mind that it has the viewfinder on the side like the APSC cameras has, because you know, I just never use a viewfinder. What's more, it strikes the perfect balance of how many buttons and features it has. I mean, I also took my A7 IV on this trip, and honestly, do I really need 2 card slots or a full-size HDMI for casual travel? Not really. Do I need 4 custom buttons? Perhaps 2 is enough. You know what I mean. And even though the A7CII is a hybrid camera, you can shoot really good 4K videos. Let's just focus more on the photo aspects. So I actually just had 2 lenses with me, the very compact 35mm f1.8 Sony prime lens, as well as the Tamron 20 to 40mm f2.8. And Tamron obviously is bigger than the 35mm prime lens, but nevertheless it just felt really good and comfortable on the A7CII. And even though these are not like, you know, high-end lenses, the photos came out great in my opinion. And due to the 33 megapixel sensor, there is just so much resolution, allowing me to get closer to the subject and crop in when needed, and you know, generally really happy with the results. Another thing that I really like about this setup is that the A7CII does not look too professional, if you will. It just looks more casual, especially because of that dual color design. You know, it kind of resembles an everyday carry, just a little bit on steroids, but definitely not as in your face as some old Canon 5D Mark whatever with a battery grip, you know. Obviously, as all A7 latest lineup, they have these NP-FZ100 batteries that gives more than like 500 shots, and honestly I took about 300-400 shots a day and never bought a spare battery, as it just lasts, which means you don't need to carry bags, accessories and whatnot. Just super light setup. Also, there was some rainy days in Japan. Luckily, A7CII is very robust. It has dust and moisture seals, so no worries bringing it out in a drizzle. And you know, I also really liked this flip out screen, because it means I can be like a little bit more stealthy taking photos in a crowded places. What I would do is I would just like keep it low on my hip level, and with the silent shutter got pretty close portrait shots of people without them noticing anything. And perhaps the best thing is the connectivity. I mean, it's not amazing because of the Sony's whatever weird setup there, but after each day when getting back to the hotel and after soaking in onsen for a few hours, I could use the Creators app to sort of easily connect to the camera and just drop all the JPEGs directly on my phone, so I could post some stories on Instagram. And I also use the creative look feature to give a bit of mood to the photos, so I don't have to edit them on my phone. But I also did shoot RAWs on all of the images are shot in RAWs. So yeah, here what you see is these are RAWs as well, and of course they are edited with my Patagonia presets. And shout out to my buddy Tang for trusting me this camera. I took it also to Bali, Indonesia, and Monkey gave his blessing by kissing the lens, so the camera now has an increased value. But if you do not have a camera and you are looking to get one for your casual travels, do I recommend A7C II? Honestly, no. And please don't get me wrong, A7C II is an absolutely amazing camera, but honestly I don't see the reason of getting it. If you are not a professional and really just want to shoot casually, you know, I think it's an overkill. My recommendation is to simply get an APS-C camera, you know, such as A6700 for example. It's even smaller, lighter, and most importantly, cheaper. Next week, I'm gonna be making a detailed comparison between the A7C II and the A6700 and just put them side by side for you to see. Alright guys, drop a comment on which is your favorite travel camera and why. I see you in the next video. Thanks for tuning in and keep on creating.